What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with another presentation. Hope everybody's doing okay today. I want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. In this presentation here, guys, I just want to talk about you know, it could be a real devastating reality, guys, when you realize that certain people you thought cared about you did not care about you. You know, how many of you guys have ever experienced that, coming to terms and understanding that certain people that you think care about you, when, one of the most hurtful things in the world is realizing people that you thought cared about you don't care nothing about you. That can be one of the most hurtful things in the world, when you realize that people you thought cared about you, people you thought loved you, people you thought, especially relatives, when you thought that relatives actually cared about you. When you thought that relatives actually cared about you, and when you thought that these people actually loved you, and when you found out that these relatives, they don't love you like you think they do. And it can be a very demoralizing and debilitating reality when you realize that, man, these relatives that I thought loved me, these people that I thought really cared about me, these people don't care nothing about me. It can be a very hurtful reality. How many of you guys can relate to this? Just realizing that people that you thought actually cared about you, people that you actually thought loved you, these people don't love you at all. And once you come to terms and you really get it in your head and you understand that these relatives that you think care about you, these relatives don't care nothing about you. Once you get it in your head that they don't care nothing about you, it can be hurtful, it can be debilitating, but it'll make it easier for you to move on with your life, and it'll make it easier for you to deal in life. Once you realize that these relatives, these people that you think love and care for you, they don't care nothing about you. I never wanted to accept that my relatives didn't care nothing about me, because it's a very hurtful reality. But once you see that these people don't care nothing about you, it can make it easier for you to move on with your life. It's been very difficult and hard for me to accept that my relatives don't care nothing about me. I never wanted to accept it. I always wanted to believe that my relatives loved me. I always wanted to believe that my relatives cared something about me. But when you see that your relatives don't care nothing about you and they all about themselves, it's nothing you can do. But the first thing, you just have to accept that they don't care nothing about you and move on. Accepting that relatives don't love you, accepting that relatives don't care nothing about you, it can be very demoralizing. It can be very, very demoralizing, accepting that these people do not love you and these people do not care nothing about you. But once you accept that your relatives and these so-called loved ones don't care anything about you, it'll make it easier for you to move on with your life. It'll make it easier for you to move on, and it'll make it easier for you to find some type of peace and happiness in this life. But I know, guys, it can be very hurtful and demoralizing to see that your relatives don't care nothing about you. Take it from me. I always wanted to believe that my relatives cared about me. But once you accept that they don't care nothing about you, you just move on with your life. But how many of you guys had a hard time accepting that relatives don't care nothing about you? They don't love you, they not concerned about you, and they don't care nothing about you. It's rough. It's a rough reality, knowing that relatives and these so-called loved ones don't love you, they don't care nothing about you. It could be it could be rough. So you guys, I would like to know your feedback. Make sure you leave your comments, make sure you rate, subscribe, because I was just thinking to myself, that's one of the toughest things to have to accept. That's one of the toughest things to have to admit to yourself, that relatives don't care. You know, it's hurtful having to admit to yourself that relatives don't care nothing about you. It's very hurtful having to admit that to yourself, because everyone wants someone that they can confide in. But you know, sometimes you'll find strangers will confide in you and show you more love than your own relatives. It's crazy, I know. But you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think about this. It's sickening when you have strangers that will confide in you and show you more appreciation than your own so-called relatives. But it's just a real hurtful thing to know that your own relatives, they don't care nothing about you. Man. But you guys have a good Sunday. Leave your comments. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Make sure you support the content. I know you guys like watching the content. Make sure you support it as well. You know. But you guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.